Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. You are listening to the Curtis Harwell Talk Radio Show, and I am Curtis Harwell, your host. And you are listening to America's best and most listened to fitness show, the Curtis Harwell Show, with well over 5 million listens now and growing every day. And I thank you very much for tuning into the show. We're gonna have another fantastic show today, and as usual, I discuss topics to help you to a better and healthier lifestyle for you and your family. And again, as always, I want to thank all of you listeners who made us the most listened to fitness show on the internet. And without you, we would not have a show to be able to share with you. Today, we are taping live for YouTube. Today, we've got a company coming in and taping us live today. It'll be posted on YouTube a little bit later, so I'll put up the links on Facebook and Twitter. You can also participate in the show today if you like at 51263. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my telephone number. We don't want to give that out at 347 850-8748. This is an early show for me. I normally don't do shows this early, so I apologize. Our sponsor today is Michelle's Magic Morsels. And Michelle's Magic Morsels, this is Michelle Brent's company. And if you've been listening to the show on a regular basis, you know that Michelle will be with me tomorrow. We'll be talking about bodybuilding, fitness, health. We'll be talking about any and everything that you want to talk about. If you'd like to participate in that show or this show and send in any kind of questions, you can send the questions in on Facebook over to Michelle Brent. You can do Michelle Brent on Twitter. You can get me, Curtis Harwell, on Facebook, Curtis Harwell BB for bodybuilder, or at Curtis Harwell BB for bodybuilder on Twitter. You can also get me at Curtis Harwell on Facebook, Curtis Harwell Fit on Facebook, and or excuse me, you can get me at the Curtis Harwell Talk Radio Show on Facebook. So there are lots and lots and lots of places that you can get a hold of me. Michelle and I, we do a show on Friday. It's unhinged. The show platform started last Friday. Michelle was out for the day, so tomorrow will be Michelle's first day. But it's an unscripted show. It's not going to be politically correct. So if you have questions and you want real answers, I'm not talking about Bravo Sierra or BS answers. You're going to get real answers to real questions that you have, and I don't really care if it's about steroids, fat, anything that you want to talk about. If it's pertaining to bodybuilding, fitness, and health, Michelle and I will take care of you. But again, today's sponsor is Michelle's Magic Morsels. She has protein cookies that are basically made with the good old-fashioned taste. And I got to tell you, these things are absolutely fantastic. You can check out IFBB Pro Michelle Brent's website at michellesmagicmorsels.com. And she has a great variety of flavors for you out there. And I can also tell you, if you listen to the show and you know how I am with supplements and other things for your diet, these are an absolute, if you're in a pinch and you can't make a meal or a snack, these will fill in just fine. Most of them, I believe, are right around 220 calories. You're going to get protein, some fat, some carbohydrates. Absolutely fantastic. Tastes great. And if you mention this show, the Curtis Harwell Show, when you make your order, Michelle will give you 3 free cookies with your order. That's fantastic. I don't think there's anybody else out there doing that. So, head on over to michellesmagicmorsels.com. Check out the cookies, mention my name, and you will get 3 free cookies. And tune in tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time with Michelle and myself, and we'll be talking about all kinds of different topics. So please check in. Now today we're going to have another fantastic show, and believe it or not, I've done. I'm creeping up on 300 shows, and I can't believe it that I have not done this show. And so today we're going to discuss why you should change your workout routine to row. It is essential. It is essential that you do this. And especially, I'm an old pro. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. I still have a coach today myself, Ted Post. He in Orange, California. Ted's 73 years old. Ted just opened up his a personal gym in Orange and doing very well. But Ted's been my coach, and all of us, it doesn't matter how many years you've been doing this, almost all of us have coaches or someone that really works with us. So, and that's what I try to do here. Now, one thing that I do really promote is you change your routine. And anybody that's ever worked with me in the past will tell you that I will shock the crap out of their system to make their body grow. Okay, now, first, what you really have to understand, and what I don't think people get a good understanding of, is what makes muscle grow. So we're going to start there so you get an idea of what makes muscle grow. So everything that I'm going to tell you you will get a feeling why you need to change your workouts. Okay. So, and again, before I talk about nutrition, training, or anything, I always think it's helpful for beginners, and even people who are not beginners really don't have a true understanding of the causes of muscle growth. Okay, so now the causes of muscle growth are not yet completely understood, believe it or not. Okay, we've got about 90 to 95% of the picture, but the best categorization of these causes, are concluded in three main factors that lead to muscle hypertrophy. Okay, now these three factors include progressive tension overload. Now, progressive tension overload, that is where you're lifting heavier and heavier weights over a period of time. Now, the second factor is muscle damage. Okay, so muscle damage basically means you get micro tears of muscle fibers that necessitate repair. Now, the third thing is cellular fatigue. And this is one that many and most don't ever get to. They don't get to this point. Now, cellular fatigue means pushing a muscle to its metabolic limit through high reps. Okay. Now, out of these three things, progressive tension overload, it absolutely has the most profound effect by far. So, although you can stimulate muscle growth through muscular damage and fatigue, if you're not progressively lifting heavier and heavier weight, you're not going to grow very well. Plain and simple. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean, and we'll get into some different routine techniques, that you can't continue to grow because you're going to get muscle damage and cellular fatigue, but the way that you lift, it will feel heavier. So we'll cover that. Now, again, out of these three factors, progressive tension overload, which means increasing the weight over time, it absolutely has the most profound effect by far when it comes to muscle growth. So you can stimulate growth through muscular damage and fatigue, as I've said. But if you're not progressively lifting heavier and heavier weight, you're not going to grow very well. So you ladies out there that are picking up these 10 and 15 pound weights, okay, and you're doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of repetitions, or some of you still may be doing 8 to 12, 8 to 15, and it's not really pushing you at all, that's not exercise. If you listen to my show about 2-3 weeks ago, that is an activity. Okay, and exercise is when you're pushing yourself to your limits. You are having to exert. That is exercise. What you're doing with these 10 and 15 pounds, that's an activity. You're not really doing much at all. Okay. Now, again, if you're not progressively lifting heavier and heavier weight, you're not going to grow very well. Now, the reason because of the reason for this is you're not targeting the growth pathway that you have in your muscle, and that matters most for fibular hypertrophy or myofiber hypertrophy. Now, again, we're going to have two types of muscle growth too, and it's generally accepted in the community, in the scientific community, that there are two types of muscle growths. Now, one of them is myofibrillar hypertrophy, and the other is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, the myofibrillar hypertrophy, it refers to the actual growth of the muscle fibers, while sarcoplasmic hypertrophy refers to the growth of the non-contractile tissues found in muscle. And this means glycogen, triglycerides, waters, and minerals, and other things. Now, the way we train, okay, let's say the number of reps we do and the weights we use and the rest period that we use, all of those factors, again, let me cover this. It's reps, weight used, and periods of rest. All of these three things determine which type of muscle growth we're stimulating the most, okay? Now, when you're lifting weights in the 4 to 10 rep range with long rest periods, mainly generates myofibrillar growth. Now, the reason for this is because after you've made your neurological adaptation and your exercise technique or your style is efficient, the only way to get stronger is to get bigger muscle fibers, okay? Does that make sense? So you have to lift a heavier weight, and you have to adjust the reps. You have to adjust all of these things and for muscle growth, okay? So it is very important that you understand that. So we've got reps, weight used, and rest periods, okay? And all of those affect you getting bigger muscles. Now, for you ladies, you're not going to get the big muscles that you think that you're going to get by doing this. It's just not going to happen. You don't have the genetics, you don't have the testosterone to do this. So just completely get it out of your mind that you're going to get big. Unless you're doing PEDs, which are performance enhancing drugs, it's not going to happen, okay? Now, lifting lighter weights for, let's say, 10 to 15 reps with shorter rest periods generates more sarcoplasmic growth than myofibrillar. Okay, now this type of training depletes high quantities of muscle glycogen, which forces the supercompensation of the glycogen stores to better handle future workouts. Okay, so it's a totally different type of way that it affects the muscle cell. Now, the key to this is only a small percentage of the overall muscle growth comes from sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Keep that in mind. So doing tons and tons and tons of reps is not going to get you, if your goal is to get bigger, than if you're doing 4 to 10 reps, okay? Keep that in mind. This is because you quickly max out the amount of glycogen the muscles can hold. Now, afterwards, the only way to continually add muscle size is to get stronger. That's it. Now, statistically speaking, probably 70-80% of the overall muscle growth a natural can get will come from the increased size of the muscle fibers. Usually you can only gain about 6 to 10 pounds with pump training, okay? Now, for this reason, the main focus of your workout should be strength gains, not fatigue, okay? DOMs or burns, okay? Now you can interchange and have your workout where you have. I will have sessions that sometimes, depending on how I feel, if I'm having say elbow joint pain or something when I come in to do workout, I'm probably not going to go heavy that day because it's really going to crank my elbows. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll come in and I will just do sets of 50, sets of 100 for 4 sets, and just max it out. Now that's more of a pump, okay? But again, I'm listening to my body, what my body tells me that I should or should not do. Now, that stuff I hope you understand. How the muscles grow. And if you have any questions on this, you can text me or email me at Curtis Harwell Fit, and I'll email you a copy of the transcript of the show, and it will list everything that I just told you about. So, and then this will be on YouTube later, and you can go to YouTube too. Now, so since you've got a little bit better understanding of what or how muscles grow, it is very important that you do change your routines up every so often. Now, if you would like to know whether you need to change up your workout routine, the simple answer is yes. You need to change up your routines every once in a while. Now, in order to fully understand why you need to do so, you need to really understand and look at your body and really feel what your body feels, how your body reacts to certain exercising or exercises or exercising. Now, sticking to the same routine can be very convenient. It can. But at some point, this routine may not give you any results. You may hit a plateau and go nowhere. So you need to shake up things. Now, changing the workout routine can be motivating and a motivator, and can make things more interesting for you while you're working out. Now, you ask yourself the question, or I even ask, why should you change up your workout routine? Now, finding an exercise routine that you like and are able to do may take a lot of time and dedication, and you may think that this routine will help you get rid of all of your excess fat. Now, in the beginning, you may notice that you're shredding fat, and the exercise routine is paying off quickly. Okay, but let's say after a few months, you may start to stagnate at the same weight, even if you do the same amount of exercise and you stick to your dietary restrictions. Now, the reason for this is absolutely simple. With the repetition of the same type of workout, now your body will get used to the exercise routine, and you will consume less energy. Now, if you change up that exercise routine, your body will be continually challenged. You want to challenge yourself. Be competitive with yourself every workout, and this will result in a more successful exercise and fat loss program. Now, in addition, you can avoid repetition and boredom too. Now, many people will quit their workout routine due to boredom and lack of results. I see it every day. People are just not self-motivating, and if you're not seeing results, a lot of people will discontinue what they're doing. Now, the change can be made in the intensity of the workout or the type of workout that you're doing. Now, you may also increase the time spending workout, or even taking less time and being more intense spent while working out. Now, another very important question is, how often should you change up your workout routine? Now, some experts believe that it can be helpful to change your workout routine on a daily basis and perform a different type of workout each day. I don't agree with that. I think that's hogwash, BS. That is something that I would not recommend. However, if you change your routine once every 2 or 4 weeks, you may see better results. than if you maintain your regular routine unaltered. Now, a lot of times, I use what's called instinctive training. Okay, I use instinctive training, so I listen to my body. What's my body telling me when I get to the gym? And I may have intentions of going to the gym and having just one heavy day. Let's say I'm gonna come in and do my one. Say if it's a bench day, I'm gonna come. I have in my mind, my plan in my head is I'm gonna come in 135 for 50 reps to warm up on the bench. And then crank it all up to, maybe doing 80% of my max, so working up to, 425, 450 on the bench. But then I may get to the bench or get to the gym, and I just don't have it. Maybe my energy levels dropped a little bit. My energy level isn't there, or let's say if all of you who've been working out for a while, you get little aches and pains in your shoulders, your elbows, or whatever. So I just may not feel like going heavy that day. So I'm listening to my body. So then I may back off and just do a rep day, do a high rep day, which I'm not working on all three areas of muscle growth, but I'm hitting two. And as long as I get some muscle growth is better than none, but at the same time I don't hurt myself, and you're able to recuperate. So that's what you need to do. And again, I would not change. I don't particularly like doing a different, on chest day, doing a different workout for every different chest day. I just kind of listen to myself, but I'll stick with a program for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then I change up. But again, I do instinctive training, so when you go in and you don't have it, because some days you just don't have 100%. You may come into the gym and you have 75, 80%. Well, you give 100% of that 75 or 80%, but then you just back off a little bit. So listen to your body. Now, how to change your workout routine is another important question. Now, to change up your workout routine, you will sometimes need to get very creative. Talk to a trainer, talk to a friend, talk to a pro. Do those things. Talk to them. There's all different types of workouts that you can do. I know over the years I've had the chance to work out with hundreds of different bodybuilders. Be able to sit into the gym and sit next to Arnold. I'm old school. Sit next to a lot of the old guys. Over the years, one of my favorite people, which a lot of you've never heard of, is Serge Nubret. And I got to tell you, when it comes to bodies and training and routines, Serge Nubret, he's right on my top of the list of best bodybuilders ever, because he taught me that you are an artist, and think of yourself as an artist when you're working out, and you are basically trying to sculpt the body that you have. That is what you are. You are a sculptor. You are an artist. And look at yourself. And it doesn't, and you don't necessarily have to be a competitive bodybuilder. You can be just a person just training, working out, trying to get better. You're an artist too, and you have to look at it that way. Your body is a piece of clay. It is a canvas, and you are working on it on a daily basis. And you need to look at it that way. Now, so, change up your routine. Sometimes go lower reps, higher weight. Again, you're going to get more muscle hypertrophy if you do it that way. But I don't particularly like going below 5 and 4 repetitions, because you're getting more into the powerlifting area. And everything that we do when we go to the gym is about looking better. So, when you look at bodybuilders, fitness people, And I'm not saying that there's not power lifters that don't look terrific, because there are some that do. Because I started out at powerlifting, and some powerlifters will, be bodybuilders too. And some of the strongest bodybuilders around compete, as myself, in powerlifting events, and we're just as strong. That old saying that, bodybuilders are not as strong as they look, that's a bunch of BS, from my point of view. So, again, you need to get creative when changing your workouts. Do different exercises. Don't do the same exercise all the time. For example, if you're doing tricep pull downs with the rope, okay, so a lot of us will hold where the knobs are at on the bottom, hands all the way down to the bottom. We pull down with the rope, spread it on the bottom, turn our wrist, and we spread it apart so you can hit the long head of the tricep a little bit better. Go back up and repeat. Okay, that's great. Do a little variation. Instead of doing that, go halfway, 3/4 of the way up on the rope. Hold the rope. Now do it. You hit your muscles from a different angle. So change up exercises. Try to hit your muscles from every different angle that you can. Don't do the same thing all the time. Be creative, okay? Or talk to somebody that will help you. If you see a pro in the gym or somebody in the gym that you think you would like to look like, talk to them, ask them, walk up to them. Most of them will help you. Most pros or people that are competitive or people that have been training for a long time, and they walk the walk and talk the talk and look like what you want to look like, you go talk to them. They will help you most times. Again, if you work out in the gym, you can change the equipment that you use. Let's say, for example, if you spend 30 minutes on a stationary bike, you can increase the intensity on that stationary bike, because when you're doing stationary bike or you're doing that treadmill, you need to be listening to your heart rate is what you need to be doing. And when you're on the treadmill, stop holding on for dear life. Don't hold on the rails. Don't hold on to the top of that damn station of that treadmill, okay? You need to stop doing that, because when you do that, you reduce body weight and the intensity that's put on your body. You need to stop doing that and do a little bit more high intensity stuff, but you can adjust that. You will have to challenge your body on a regular basis, and you need to change the challenge. Don't challenge your body the same way, because your body will adapt. And you need to change, so your body has to continually adapt. If your body is adapting, you are growing. That is the secret. If your body is adapting to something, you need to change it, so it has to readjust itself, and that's when you're growing. Okay, you need to do that. Okay, and you need to do it because you don't want to get into the same old routine. You don't want to get lazy, and then over time you're burning fewer and fewer calories, and your metabolism is dropping. So shock the body, kick your butt. Don't be afraid to hurt in the gym. I appreciate everybody listening to the show today. We're on tomorrow with Michelle Brent at 11:30 Central Standard Time. So please join us. We're going to have a fantastic time. And again, if you want some great protein cookies, taste great meal replacements, head over to michellesmagicmorsels.com. Everyone have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.